Everybody, this is Team Terrabats 14525. Today we're going to be talking about how to program in FTC using Java and Android Studio. Then you're going to first learn about installing and setting up the components, because this is absolutely necessary. So we first need to download the required. This will include Android Studio. Download Android Studio. I have provided a link over here. You can just click it. It should take you to developer.android.com/studio. And you can download this file over here, and you also want to download the JDK, the Java Development Kit. Now most people already have it, so you can check if you have it by going to your Finder, System Preferences, and it should show up right over here. Now you also want to see if you have the FTC SDK. So you probably do not have this, and you need to download this off this website, github.com/FTC tech and h/FTC_app. And once you get here, you want to click clone or download, and you want to click download zip. Now I already have it, so I'm not going to download it. Next, you want to boot up everything. So in Android Studio, you want to select all the defaults and then click the import project button and then import this. For that, you should end up the screen like this. Now your color scheme may differ, but this is what you should achieve. Now we're gonna learn about the game and the different parts of the code. So we first have the autonomous period. It lasts for 30 seconds, and the robot must only use pre-given instructions. The main key of this period is reliability. Then we have the TeleUp period. This is a driver control period, so drivers will be able to use their gamepads, and 2 drivers will operate. This period lasts for 2 minutes, and the last 30 seconds of this period is called the end game. Now drivers are still allowed to use their controllers during the end game. Now we're going to talk about some quick vocabulary. Now, an object is something which encapsulates methods, variables, etc. For example, a robot can be an object, and inside of the robot object, there will be the different methods, such as move forward, move backwards. Then we have JDK, which you just downloaded off java.com. That's the Java Development Kit. Then we have the FTC SDK. It's software development kit first provides us in order to program our robots. And then we have our IDE, which is our integrated development environment. This is where we can write our code. Now we're going to talk about how to create our robot class. So you first want to, you can see the screen right now, but I will go to there. So when you go here, we want to go to team code, Java, org.firstinspires, and then you want to create new and then Java class. Now you can name this any, but we'll name our Java class Terrabats. Just like that. As you can see, it should look like this. Now we want to declare the motors. So basically, our robot has motors, but our program does not know that. So all these motors are known as DC motors, and we will be able to declare that in the value. So we can go to Android Studio, we can declare our motors. So we have DC motor, and you can say R1, you can say equals null, and then you just want to repeat this process for how many DC motors you have. So I have 4 DC motors, so let's just repeat this process. Oops. Like that. Now we have declared all of this. Then we need to declare a hardware map. To declare a hardware map, you can just click hardware map equal like that. You can see our code should match. Now we want to create a method inside of the Terrabat class called init. In this, we'll initialize all the motors. So to do this, we'll say public void, and then you can say init. This basically creates a function, method called init. inside of your init, you can create a separate parameter. This will call the hardware map. So now let's say hardware map, and we'll put something inside of it later. In here, we can initialize all the motors. Now, you may be wondering, where can we initialize the motors? So to initialize the motors, what you want to do, you want to take the motor name inside of the program, and you want to say that it's equal to that motor.get DC motor.class, and then motor name and configuration. Now to figure out the motor name and configuration, when you configured your robot on your robot controller phone, you want to use that name. So we have an example here. If I have R1, you can say R1 equal R1.get DC motor.class, and then R1 over here, quotation marks, is what my configuration says on the robot controller. So after we declare that there is a motor there, we then want to say that go forward or reverse. Some motors are aligned reverse, meaning that to make the robot go forward, the motor needs to spin in reverse because it's flipped around. So we can change that. Then we want to make sure that whenever we stop, we want the brakes to come. So we can say motor name.set 0 power behavior DC motor.0 power behavior.brake. Now this motor name will have to be R1, R2, L1, L2. And then right now, as we start out, we'll go without the encoders. So you can say motor name.set mode DC motor.run mode without run without encoder. Again, motor name would be R1, L1, R2, L2. And then in the beginning, you want to set all the powers to 0. Now it should all look like this. So we can quickly show you how to do that for one of the motors. So I have a motor here. Let's call it R1. R1 equal to R1.get mode DC motor. So R1 class, as you can see, and then device name, that would be R1. And then, as you can see, you want to set all the directions, so we can do R1.set direction, and then you want to say DC motor again, as we showed over here, all these other DC motor. Then you want to click dot direction, and then forward. Now if you want to set a reverse, you just do that, you put reverse. It depends, but for right now, let's see that it's forward. And then you want to do R1 dot set power 0. And then after that, you want to set the 0 power behavior. Set 0 power behavior 0. Sorry, power. DC motor. That's like 0 power behavior brake. Get R1 dot set power 0. R1 dot set mode. Run mode dot run without encoder. Like that. This actually should be after this. Like this. Now I recommend after you type it, remove all the spaces. It's just easier to look at that way. And you should be able to do this for all the moves. Now we want to create a move method. So to create the move method, you can just go void and double power, double offset, and the curly brackets there. Now I only declared R1, so let's declare the other motor too. So we can use the move method. We can do L1 dot equal hardware app dot get DC motor dot class, and then L1, and then L1 dot set direction DC motor dot direction dot, let's say this one might be reversed. And then L1 dot set power 0. And then over here, we do L1 dot set 0 power behavior, and then DC motor dot 0 power behavior dot break. And L1 dot set mode DC motor dot run without encoder for now, and you want to make sure that it's at the speed of 0. Now I know this is a lot, so you can pause the video here and overview what we've just written and understand it. But to make it easier, I'll just leave a space between all of these. Okay, so now in the move method, what we're gonna do is we need to set power. So we're gonna have R1 definitely set power, and then what's gonna be our power? So we're gonna have, we used a parameter here called double power, and then plus offset. Now offset will be the amount of turn. Now if I want to turn, one of my motors needs to go forward and the other needs to go reverse. I'll do power minus offset to the left one. As you can see, this will be our move function. So if I want to go forward, I can just say move Terrabat dot move, and then we can say 1, which will be the amount of power, and offset, let's say 0, so it'll move at the max speed, which is 1. Now let's move on. So we want to create our first autonomous program now. So to create our first autonomous program, you can copy the template from the FTC robot controller, click basic alt mode linear, and you can paste it inside. I like to do this for beginners because it's way easier. So you can click copy, and then over here you can paste it, and you can rename it. Let's rename it Terra Auto. Press OK. Now we already declared most of this side of our class. So what we want to do, I want to get rid of this. So we already declared this, and we can get rid of this, and you can get rid of runtime.reset, not using it, and you can get rid of all of this. So now we have this, and this will just be our autonomous, so you can call it auto. And make sure the at disabled is commented out like that. Now before we wait for this to start, click here. Now as we cleaned it up, now we want to declare our Terrabat class. So let's say Terrabat dot equal, new Terrabat, like that. After that, we can talk about how to make the robot move. So as we talked about before, you can set the parameters using a move function. So bot.move power 1, offset 0. Now let's say I want to use time. And to make the robot move for a given amount of distance, we can use the parameter time, as mentioned before. So let's get that parameter. So you want to first call in the time, so you can say elapsed time equal new elapsed time, and this is a function. And then what you can do is you can say then you can say time dot reset. So you want to make sure that it resets, and then while, let's say time dot seconds is less than 5, then we can copy this and put this here. So in this case, the bot will move to power of 1 for 5 seconds. And you can see we've created our first autonomous program. Now, after this, we have two programs. this is our autonomous program. This is our Terrabat class, which is the robot class. Now we can program our first TeleUp program. So to program a TeleUp program, just create a new Java class, and I'll name it TerraUp, but you can copy the iterative opcode because it's easier. So you can just go to Java, external samples, iterative, copy, and retract this, paste it here, call this TerraUp. Now we create a TerraUp, get rid of this. It's not necessary for us to have this. Make sure the app override remains there, and it is not necessary for us to have this either right now. But keep the variable comments because it's very supportive. Now, as you can see, we have the different parts: our init section, our init loop, our start, our loop, and then our stop. So, what we first want to do, we want to declare a class Terrabat equals new Terrabat, like that, as you go back. And now we want to say bot.init or hardware map. So we can do that in our init statement. Bot.init hardware map, like that. And then in the start loop, it only goes once, so we want to do it in the loop part. So in the loop part, we can say bot.move gamepad1.stick y, gamepad1.rightstick x, which basically means as the y stick goes forward, move forward and add more power. As the right stick moves towards the horizontal waves, then turn. So you can write this here, bot.move, and then you can say gamepad 1 dot stick y, let's say 2 dot stick x. So as you can see, I declared this inside of the class and still use it. For this, our whole class should look like this. Now, thank you for attending and watching the video. If you please have any questions, ask us in the comments, or you can email us at Terrabats14525 @gmail.com, all lowercase. Thank you for watching.